arborists we deal with, and discussing trimming those trees and how we can reduce the amount of spiders in that area. And pesticide treatments will do it. It's a playground area, so we need to be very cautious. We really don't want to put pesticides on
The
the
maintenance
playground.
will go out once a week, and,
Yeah.
pull it up. We asked Pbp making spray once a month, but they said, well, it lasts about 2 weeks and they'll be back.
No, it's a reoccurring, it's over and over. So we need to do something, and my sense is, in reading on that type of pest, we have an environment that is producing them because they love that environment with that dense canopy, and it makes them, with those large webs cascading from tree to tree to tree. So I think we need to look at that from a perspective of speaking to an arborist and getting those trees under control, where maybe that will help eliminate a lot of those webs. So Christine's going to work on that. Christine is also working on the bids for enhancements to the entryways and the cul-de-sacs. And then as far as the mulch path between Mulberry and Magnolia Grove, that seems to need a little bit of assistance. We're going to have to put some thought into that. Probably what we're going to consider doing with that is going to get some bids on it. And I'll get with you on that we might speak to the finance committee about putting in for next year's budget, because it just needs to be cut out and redone. It's gotten to where some areas are 2 feet, some are 4 feet, and it just needs the whole path needs to be redone.
Which one is that, the one that runs
Between the homes, yeah, exactly. And I think that was all we had. The survey, we discussed sending out the survey, which was done. So what we're going to do for the next month is Christine will be working on bids, landscape bids, and the landscape committee will get those bids from Christine, and in August we'll take a look at those, and then we'll forward to the board after that. That is all I have for the landscape. Anybody have any questions? Communications, Anita's not here, so we'll move on. The gazebo committee. The gazebo committee has met for a couple months. We have several homeowners that are on the committee. And the decision was made to not replace all of the dilapidated gazebos that were in some of the park areas that were removed. Over in Greenwood, I know one of the residents over there kind of told some of the homeowners, and it seems like most people aren't in favor of it. When I went over there and I looked at it and spoke with some of the homeowners, and they're like, just leave it like it is, just add some trees. So nobody seems to use the gazebos is the problem. We did some pricing on them, and to do a commercial grade gazebo with the hurricane structure and permitting, etc., depending on the size, and then you have to put a footing and a flooring in. You're talking, after all said and done, and through permitting, $12,000 to $15,000 a piece. So if they're not being used, it's just not money well spent. So the committee is getting bids for other items. As far as the playground area out here, I thought it might be better served doing a sunshade or sun sail between the areas, and maybe trying to shade part of the playground for the children in lieu of the gazebo. A sunshade would offer more area. You could put a bench under there or a table, and the families can come over there and kind of enjoy the area. So that's what we're in the process now. Christine and Daniela are looking at pricing on the sunshades and the sun sails, and as soon as we get that info, we can take a look at it, and we'll come back to the board and give the synopsis on pricing, etc. Okay, on to, does anybody have any questions on that? No. Okay, so we're going to move on to the old business. TV for the clubhouse was brought up last month. Wanda had brought that up, that the finance committee thought it would be a good idea for doing their meetings, etc., because they have a difficult time passing around tons and tons of paperwork. Everybody's printing out all the reports. I spoke to the hearing committee, and they had the same input. They said between all the pictures and the violations, everybody has these huge packages, and they're trying to pass everything around. So it would make it simpler for the committees. Even from the landscape committee perspective as well, because we're looking at plans and designs. They used to bring a laptop, where I have pictures, and I'm passing everything around the table. So if we had a TV, I think it could be utilized for all the committees. It could be utilized for board meetings if we need to show a presentation or something. It could be used for clubhouse rentals, when people rent the clubhouse as well, they can utilize it. Or simply when Christine's here and the clubhouse is open and the kids come in after school, they can sit down and watch TV or whatever. So I think it would be a good thing for the clubhouse. Wanda was getting some prices. Christine got these prices, is that right? For Tewksbury? Okay. Christine got some prices on a couple different models. Smart TV versus just a regular TV, and I think Wanda, you were more apt to go with like a smart TV,
Well,
correct?
we're gonna have the TV in there, we need to look up something, like when we were doing the landscape, we needed to look up certain plants that were, good for our community, that, you know, could endure the water and so forth, because we have a lot of water. You know, we were all looking at our laptops and our, you know, it was just really difficult, so doing our research, everything, we could do that as a team instead of, you know, all fragmented. I think people could follow through. So definitely a smart TV would be.
What Christine looked at was a 60-inch, and the prices were running, $1,300 to like $1,500, $1,599, $1,600 being the smart TV. So Wanda stated you thought you could probably find some better prices maybe at Costco.
I usually get my TVs at Costco, but I figured if we approved the budget, I compared it with there. I like the warranty at Costco's also.
Do you want to make a motion for a budget?
Well, if we could, you know, have a budget of $1,500, you know, and see where we can go with that, and I'll shop around and see if we just get it done.
Do we have a second? A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed, Wanda, $1,500 budget. Okay, the new clubhouse furniture, that's still the researching process. We talked about that last month, the need for, adding or, eliminating the furniture that's out there that's been here since inception. With the amount of rentals we have, it's very difficult to clean and it's very stained up. And to be honest, if we had something that was either a leather or a bonded leather or an imitation leather, it can be sanitized. You can't sanitize this furniture, so unless you have somebody coming in and steam cleaning it frequently. We read it a lot, and you know, it's just something we're taking a look at. So that's still in the process. Christine's working on some prices. I think
I mean,
Wanda's working on some
that
prices.
furniture's been here for 10 years in this clubhouse, the same furniture. And we tried cleaning it, I mean, parties are increasing. I mean, sometimes we double book them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right,
I think,
Saturday,
you know, I'm a proponent for sanitizing stuff, so I think if you have a party, when the party's done, everything should be sanitized and clean. You know, that's just my opinion on it.
What additional furniture? I mean, you're gonna throw away everything?
No, we'll probably just keep it and sell it. I think that, you know, the furniture you could probably sell, put it on Craigslist or something and sell it, and then you know, utilize whatever you get, obviously to go towards whatever furniture. But we're researching it, so we don't have price structure, so right now that's just preliminary and it's researching.
We'd rather get more tables, you know, like some rectangular tables, chairs, so that when somebody has a party in the clubhouse, there's, you know, the tables are there, the chairs are there. A lot of times.
My question is that you're gonna have to create the room, so you're gonna have to take this out and put the new one. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. We also discussed a back-to-school party, like for August last month. I am honestly still in favor of that, and I really don't think we have to spend a lot of money on it. I'm sure we can get with one of the local pizzerias and something inexpensive for the kids.
You know, I thought about it, and look, if we're going into August next week, I mean, the summer went by so fast, I don't even feel like I have the time. And it really takes a lot of planning, and we never get enough volunteers. It's the saddest thing. All the time it ends up being one or two people going and picking up the stuff, and I'm to the point where I feel like that idea should be scrapped. We don't have enough time, and you know, August is right around the corner.
Well, what if we talk about maybe doing something, maybe a Halloween party or do something? I still think that, you know, with the clubhouse and the amount of people and kids we have, yes, we need volunteers desperately. You know, and it would be nice to have some functions for the adults, for the kids, not just the kids, but for the adults. And I agree with Wanda, we need more help, and we would love to open up the clubhouse and do more stuff. If we have people that can help just maybe on an occasional basis. Not everybody can commit, I understand that. So just a thought, maybe we can talk about that when you put, you know.
Like I said, August is around the corner.
I know, I just
I feel like I haven't had a breath of fresh air next week.
I know.
And I gotta work on the finance
some kind of functions for adults, for the kids, whatever, maybe willing to volunteer, you know, maybe,
Even
yeah, quarterly or something, and see if we get some responses back. We have a nice clubhouse, we should use it, I mean, it should be open to the homeowners.
It is open to homeowners and they're using it a lot on the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than ever.
Well, yeah, that's rental, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, not rental, just functions, stuff that
Exactly.
homeowners should come in and use, that, because, you know, you pay your dues and stuff, you should, yes, we have amenities, but we still have a clubhouse that can be used. The mulch replacement that was done, that was basically just a partial mulching, a full mulching will be done at the end of the year. The extending the concrete
Okay.
walkways, pardon me?
On the mulch, do we have a separate contract now?
Yeah, well, not really, we're just, you
No,
know,
that's
Who is
just a
doing
per,
mulch?
that was just a per, it's a per application. There's being no bid, so it's just a per application.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a contract thing. The extension of the sidewalks, the concrete sidewalk walkways that we discussed last month, Christina's still getting bids. Jen? how many-
I had 3 companies come out already, with the measurements, and I could go back and they'll give us bids.
Okay.
could you please explain to me exactly, I'm a little confused here, where are we trying to extend the concrete? Over here, back here?
Yeah, if you take a look, I expressed it last month, if you go out to the basketball court,
Okay,
you will see a wear path in the grass coming from the basketball court going to the walking path that goes to the homes. What we're saying is, because they use that as a direct path, there should be a walking path coming from that sidewalk over to the basketball court. Okay? And then.
well, see, a TV would work right now. You could actually give a demonstration.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
trying to think, you have a walkway that goes from Palm Beach Plantation Boulevard to Tally Ho.
Yeah,
Now, is that Tally Ho right back there? Yeah.
yeah, but it curves and it doesn't go to the
Doesn't go all the way.
basketball. So they created their own path, all the kids going back and forth. So you can't keep the grass there or anything. So you need to come up with something that has a direct path to that area.
So you could get a cement walkway,
Yeah, just extend the sidewalk, it's there.
make it like a T shape.
We'll see, we're just trying to get bids to come up with something, then we can come up with a visual